And rape is never funny, no matter who it happens to or what the circumstances are.
I have to find the comment because somebody asked me what my opinion was on the whole interview that Cat Williams did. The first thing, like, this was pretty early on in the interview, and this, like, it makes me emotional even hearing him say this, because so rarely, like, I can't actually think of any other time have I ever heard a man just lay it out that flat and simple, because it is that simple. That he was basically saying in the movie that it was a comedy, it would have been a funnier movie had they not put in a joke about rape than it would have been as a funny movie with a rape joke. And that, I have to say off the bat, like, makes me love Cat Williams. I just think that I just wish more people would say that. I don't know. I just wish that more men would, take that flat out, because I think that a lot of male humor is masked by just like sheer hatred of women. I actually made a video about that the other day too. The other things that I wanted to mention, I didn't finish it yet. It's a long interview, and I was kind of like half listening after I got past the first like 30 minutes or so, just because it was a lot. Is something that I think is notable and honorable about him is that he said he never did a hard drug in his life. And I think that that is a testament to his character strength, because not only like as you're an adult, as you're in this world, is it hard to stay away from substances or any form of escapism in terms of just life being challenging, but two, like being in the industry that he's in. And he also goes on to talk about how he kind of says it without saying it, was like heavily abused growing up. And I think that there's always a fork in the road too, with people that come from a really tough background that either double down on things like escapism through drugs, and then people who are the other end, like they're very straight edge due to the things that they've been through. And that's not to say one person is better than the other. I just do think it is to say that not only to be so honest and to have such a commitment to his values, despite how maybe they're not agreeable or super easy to get along with or super easy to get paid for in the industry that he's in. And then on top of that, not be dabbling in that stuff. It's honorable. And then the other thing that I wanted to touch on, I wrote it down, I don't want to say it wrong. He said something about the devil not granting you blessings, that you cannot get a blessing via the devil. And I actually tweeted something along the same lines a few months ago. I think I said something about how God will grant you blessings and the devil will put you in debt. And I don't want to make this a debate on like the, biblical version of God versus the devil if you're not a religious person, just seeing it through the lens of like the evil in the world and then the holiness in the world. And I was trying to say something about how when you make a deal with the devil, it's always transactional. It's always something where he's going to incentivize you and he'll let you borrow what is like pleasure, money, joy, riches, success, whatever it is that you are willing to sacrifice for, and that he's always going to come to collect it back later. Whereas God will maybe put you through the hard part at the beginning of struggling and strength and tests and trials and tribulations and poverty of the heart, of the mind, of the pockets, whatever it is. But when he grants you a blessing, like it is yours, it belongs to you because you've earned it. I think the devil grants your wishes based off of fear and off of powerlessness, whereas God grants your wishes through faith and through empowerment. And I think that both of those moments arrive at what you believe is your weakest point. And I always say this though, your weakest point is actually your strongest point, because that's where there's the most potential to either go in the good or the bad direction. When you are at your weakest point in your life, you get cheated on, you lose your job, you're homeless, like things that people deal with on a daily basis, you're given a very powerful choice. And that choice can either be, am I leaning into faith and being a good person despite the tempting side of maybe getting the thing that I want, but through the vessel of bad sacrifices? And that moment is where you are tested. That's the angel and the devil on your shoulder. And I think that a lot of what Kat was trying to say here was kind of along the lines of like, evil sticks with evil, and when you're grouped up together, you may seem more powerful because you're able to make more progress through solidarity and protecting one another and defending one another and enabling the toxicity and like the evil energy among one another. Whereas sometimes like people that are functioning in that more holy, godlike energy are kind of on a lonely journey when they're doing it alone. They're navigating through it alone under the belief that like these people are stronger. And that's what's always kind of calling you to be like, should I just fold? Should I just fold? And I think this also is a big testament to like all the stuff happening astrologically. I know not everyone that follows me is into this stuff, but there's such a profound pivotal point right now of the downfall of celebrity culture, not only in the sense of capitalism and consumerism and being like, oh my god, why are we still obsessed with these people that are just archetypes of power and success and money, and this idea of how celebrities are legit like our new age royalty, and we watch these people who have all the power and the money and the fame in the world to fix it, just not, and host these weird culty party award shows where they're just awarding each other for doing nothing in life, and we sit at home as the poor folk who are so invested in them, clapping for them because we feel this sort of parasocial relationship with them, despite the fact that they literally could not give a fuck about us at all. And I think that's one part of the celebrity downfall. And then I think the other part is what Kat is talking about, and like how we're seeing a lot of exposure around things like Diddy, the Harvey Weinstein stuff, even though the Harvey Weinstein stuff I feel like was a ploy, like for attention. I don't think it was ever truly about justice and victims and bringing awareness to anything like that. But I think we're at the precipice of what is this dark versus light sort of showdown. I could talk about it more astrologically. I've made videos about it before, but I need to finish the rest of the interview in regards to like the actual, examples he's talking about. I know he talks a lot about men dressing up as women, and he talks a lot about happening with like black men, black actors and comedians. It happens with white people too, but I do think that there is like an interesting, it's hard to navigate like conversations like this and like trying to form your own opinion on it, because there's so many thinking holes of people that are like pushing an agenda. Like for example, people saying that men dressing as women is pushing an agenda. That's kind of like an alt-right, QAnon sort of hole that you can fall in. And then there's other people who are on the complete other end of the spectrum who are like, oh, it doesn't mean anything at all, it's just humor, like nobody should care at all, when like we should really care about the things that are in our media that especially like show up continuously, because there's a reason we're being exposed to it so many times, and like there's a reason why they want us to be comfortable with those images. So I haven't fully formed my own opinion on that side of what he was talking about, but I don't know, it's interesting. Like I think that we're really seeing the downfall of everything that we've looked up to for so long, and that it's losing its value. And I think that celebrities and people that have a lot of money know. I think that they, feel the general mistrust and kind of like, we don't give a fuck anymore, like, oh my god, sort of energy. So I'm interested to see how that goes, but I'll watch the rest of it and then share my thoughts on it later.